Trilling. Over time, your shit hard.
Hi, this is Krista Renee from the 90 Day Podcast, and today I have with me my orthodontist, Dr. Adams Daniels, and today's episode is called Is There a Dentist in the House? And we will be discussing teeth cleaning as well as what he does at his practice. Welcome, Dr. Adam Daniels.
How was your day?
It was good. I woke up early, like 5 a.m. So I'm still here and I'm still moving and grooving. So that's a good thing.
Okay.
We are going to take a quick break, but when we return, we are going to hear more from Dr. Adam Daniels.
You're so lit.
Hey, yo, Trilling. Over time, your shit hard.
Welcome back to the 90 Day Podcast, and we are here talking with my orthodontist, Dr. Adam Daniels.
What does being a dad means to you?
Oh man, that's a lot. You know, it's interesting because like I never thought I could love someone like I love my son. You know, it's a whole new world. You know, I had a dad and we didn't have a great relationship, so you never really know what you're going to be like as a dad, you know, when it gets to be your turn. But, like, you know, joy, anger, frustration, like, you know, being super proud. It's been great, you know. It's definitely changed me for the better, but it has massively changed me. You know, everybody thought that I couldn't be a dad because I was so like regimented and so rigid and like I like everything to go this way, and it's been great. You know, it's been a fun roller coaster, just opening up my mind to going with the flow, and like, you know, he's a little human too, and so like sometimes like, you know, my little human has an amazing day and sometimes he doesn't, and sometimes you just got to go with it, you know.
Right.
So it's been amazing, you know.
And how old is he?
6.5.
Oh wow, that's a good age.
Yeah. Here, I've got a picture of him sitting right next to me. A little boy.
Oh my God, adorable.
So he's a cutie.
Adorable.
He's wearing a little smile, holding a little smile sign. So that's my dude, you know.
Yes.
So it's great. I get to after our interview today, I get to go to football practice. I put him in football.
Oh.
So he's all excited. So
And how is he in football?
He's like on his Mighty Mike's team for first and second graders. So he's like I think he's the second smallest person there.
Okay. So
yeah.
when you get bum rush, you're like, get off my boy.
You know, part of me's like, you know, like good. Someone's got to knock him over and speak for him. So you know.
Okay. Well, name something that your dad did that left an impact on your life.
You know, my dad left a lot of negative impacts on my life, Crystal. But one thing he would always say to me positively was that we needed to, no matter what, you know, he didn't care about whether I did X, Y, or Z, but just that I was like being honest to him, you know? And it's interesting because I can see sometimes when I'm like I'm mad at Xavier for doing something silly, dropping his milk on the ground, or all of a sudden there's something all over the place, his room's a disaster. And when I talk to him, like, I can see what he meant by that, because I'm like, tell Xavier sometimes, I'm like, like, mistakes happen, but just be honest with me. Like, don't lie about it. Just tell me,
Right.
So, and I totally see where my dad used to get very frustrated, when we wouldn't tell the truth, we weren't real forthcoming, because it doesn't make a good human. And in the end, like, my husband and I, we just want Xavier to be a good human being.
Right. When I first came to your practice, I knew I found the best orthodontist for me. Your team is like one big family.
Mm-hmm.
Do other patients feel the same way I feel?
So, yeah, I mean, like, everybody's unique, right? Like, there's only one Crystal, and we love you. But we have a ton of, most of our patients can sense that we're a really tight team. And I like to always say to Dr. Brilio, who's the other orthodontist here now, I like to say to her, like, we have a ton of, like, very well-trained staff members. Like, everyone's highly trained. But they're highly trained because they care. Like, they care about doing the best they can do. They care about each other, and we care about, like our entire patient population. And I think most of our patients can sense that we're trying our best, and we're trying to do what we would do for our own family members and our own children and our own parents and stuff like that,
Yeah.
So it's cool. So you're not the first person to say that, that it seems like we're one big kind of like family almost,
Yeah. How did you handle the pandemic during COVID-19 when a lot of business had shut down to make safety adjustments?
Yeah, so, healthcare, I think there was like a study maybe in April that said that like dentists were like significantly like the most at-risk profession because of the aerosols that we create. And within orthodontists, we're creating a ton of aerosol when we're taking glue off and for broken brackets or taking people's braces off or Invisalign attachments off. So we really create aerosol all day long. So we had to, we shut down for 9 weeks. We were actually the first dental office in our county to reopen, which was interesting. But we just basically, I took like my main key players and we just worked our buttons off to make sure that like everything we were going to do was going to be safe to return. We had enough PPE, like the mask, the gloves, gowns, shields, everything like that, and it was like a team effort. We just pitched in, and for a lot of my staff members that were scared to come back to work, I made sure that they understood that I cared about them, I cared about their safety, and that I wasn't going to let anything happen to them. And I'm proud to say out of the 19 staff members we have, like only one has ended up getting positive for COVID. And it was actually her boyfriend over the holidays that ended up bringing it home from work. So we were really lucky and really fortunate that like all of our safety protocols actually did work for our team too.
Oh, wow, good. Did you always wanted to become a dentist? And if so, why?
So I didn't used to want to be a dentist. I used to want to be a medical doctor. And I volunteered in a hospital for 3 years. Then I was hired at their front desk as like the greeter for 3 years. And then I worked for a doctor. And one thing I realized about being a medical doctor is that most of the people are sick from me. So I like to deal with people who are a little less grumpy. I didn't realize people were scared to go to the dentist at the time, We get our own fair share of grumpy people too. But I love like the aesthetics of it. I love like what a smile can do to somebody. You see people going around never smiling a day in their life, and then you straighten their teeth out, and then they're grinning ear to ear. The confidence it gives people. Let alone, I don't think I really realized like all the functional benefits, like chewing and eating, and breathing better, like all the difference we can really actually make in someone's life. So it's been great, actually.
Yeah.
We are going to take another break, but when we come back, we are going to hear more from Dr. Adam Daniels. 90 Day Podcast. This is Krista Renee, and we are here talking with my orthodontist, Dr. Adam Daniels.
What are some good teeth cleaning tips that you can give?
It's like the Nike thing, just do it, right? You just gotta clean your teeth. If you don't clean your teeth, they're gonna rot out of your mouth. So what's the point of having them, right? So I like to think of like my favorite food and think like, what would my life be like if I couldn't have spaghetti ever again the rest of my days, right? That is just not cool. So in some people, their teeth keep falling out, they're getting pulled and stuff like that, and then you can't chew and eat your food, you know?
Right.
So the key is trying to brush after every meal. Honestly, like period, brush after every meal. And then after that, like, if you think about not just your teeth, your mouth has gum tissue and a tongue and lips and stuff, and you got to try to brush it. Where people miss the most brushing is actually at the gum line. So if you mentally think, hey, I'm lightly brushing my gums and doing little circles, then you're going to actually properly brush no matter what,
Right.
So you just got to think about like getting in there and brushing your gums. And, I was never a big flosser. Not everybody has to floss. But as you age, I have to floss more and more and more. And getting in between my teeth with floss has been a huge game changer for me with my oral hygiene, my gums, things like that. So floss, if you can floss once a day, do it, get in there.
Right. And I know that you're an orthodontist, but what other type of dental services you provide at your office?
Yes, so like I'm trained to be a dentist, so I can do everything. However, when I chose to specialize in orthodontics only, that's mainly what I limit my practice to. We do a variety of, my degree is orthodontics and dental facial orthopedics. So stuff like you don't think about, but like changing the shape of your jaw structure and your bones and things like that, especially at a young age, like, our kids that are 7, 8, 9, 10, a lot of expansion, we'll fix underbites, overbites, things like that, So we're kind of moving the jaw structure and the bones around. We do give our patients bleach for free at the end of treatment, but we try not to, I don't want to make money on bleaching. I let dentists do that or bleaching companies do that. It's just like a little service that we do for our patients. And then really the other main thing that we do is really focusing on like some temporomandibular joint disorder, or TMD, TMJ. We do some of that, splint therapy and stuff, but it's not our primary focus. It's mostly braces and Invisalign, 50-50, it's braces and Invisalign.
Yeah. And my last question, not everyone can go through the teeth whitening process due to their sensitivity. I know I can't. What other teeth whitening products or services are out there that people can use to whiten their teeth?
Yeah, so there's a ton of over-the-counter bleaching solutions or whitening solutions. Most of them are pretty weak because they're sold over the counter. Most of them are fairly expensive because people can make a lot of money on them. But honestly, if you can do the gel bleach, I think it's better. I think that personally, I think those like laser zoom whitening, things like that kind of thing, I think it's like too aggressive. Like everybody's going to get sensitive teeth from that. But they have all sorts of different levels of like percentages of bleach. You can actually buy like a really, really low percentage of like tooth whitening to go in your retainer or like a bleaching tray and do it. So like if you're sensitive, just because you're sensitive to 20% doesn't mean that you're going to be sensitive to like 5% carbon peroxide, which is like the major bleaching agent. So you can actually scale down, or there's even like this little foam that you can buy at like CVS or Walgreens called like Eversmile White Foam, and it's super weak, but if you do it 3 times a day in your retainers or your Invisalign, it'll actually whiten your teeth while you're going through it. So, and probably one of the other things, like sometimes people get really fixated on how white their teeth are. You're born with a certain whiteness, and there's only so white you can get your teeth. I've seen people with very yellow brown teeth, right? Like they're not going to to bleach very much, but we can't do a lot, you know?
Right.
Some people have like an interior that's gray or something. So you do have to be mindful of that. Sometimes you can't bleach your color away. Sometimes you got to go to the dentist and actually get like veneers or covering your teeth and change if you wanted a dramatic color.
Right. Well, Doctor, in your first name, you have like two first names, so I call you Dr. Adams. I call you Dr.
I know. Dr. Adam Daniels. I know. Everybody calls me Dr. Adams, Dr. Daniels, Dr. Daniel Adams. It's okay. I'm used to it.
I want to just thank you for your time today, and because I know you're so busy with your patients and with your life. But I really want to thank you for your time today. It was nice and a pleasure talking to you.
It was wonderful, Crystal. So thank you for giving me the opportunity to be a part of your podcast. It's awesome. Okay. So you're fantastic. I appreciate it.
And I will let you will be the first person that I send the episode to when I launch it. I always do that. Cool. So thank you.
I love it. Thank you, hon. Hey, you have a fabulous afternoon, all right? We'll talk to you soon.
You too. Thank you. Good
Take
night.
care, Crystal.
Okay. Bye-bye.
And that concludes my interview with my orthodontist, Dr. Adam Daniels. And let me tell you, that practice is a great practice. I love them. I love the people there. And I just appreciate his time. Dr. Daniels' practice is located at 219 Talcottville Road in Vernon, Connecticut, 06066. The phone number there is 860-872-8361. The email address is smile@ctvalleyortho.com. That's smile@ctvalleyortho.com. And you could go schedule an appointment and visit at any time. They have a great practice. This is Krista Renee, and I always close out with be positive, think positive. You can do anything that you want to do as long as you put your mind to it. This is Krista Renee signing out. Thank you all for listening. Good night.